Welcome back to TV5 News at 9. Well, school is all online now, and it's bringing a whole new set of challenges for teachers, parents, and students. In today's Education Matters, we're talking with Dr. Craig Douglas about what parents can do to cope with the stress. So what are some tips that parents can do?
Well, first, good morning and happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Putting this whole thing into context, and I don't mean to minimize this at all, but schools are on a 3-week I guess dismissal, but one of the 3 was probably going to be spring break anyway, right? So really we're talking about an extra 10 days of school not being in session at this time for what we know. So for parents, I think I would try and put this whole thing in a context like I just did. Try to put it in a real, succinct, but unemotional way. Now, it could go longer, but it may not. And for right now, in the time being, we know we've got 3 weeks. The key, I think, is the stress on the child and the child's teachers and everybody else is a ripple effect of the impact of being dismissed, and talking it out at home, having deep conversations, thoughtful conversations. And for parents, all adults, taking time to listen to what the child is saying and answer the questions honestly and as completely as possible. That's the first thing, because this is an emotional event that these children, our children, are always going to have in their history, right? In my case, I remember I was in 6th grade when our president was assassinated, President Kennedy. Traumatic. Always will remember, it's a ripple effect. This is a similar kind of stressor. So talking it out, being supportive, being honest, knowing what you know, sharing it, that's the first step, I think, to help children.
Yeah, you know, that is a really good thing to think about, especially, and maybe that's for you, and for me, it's having 9/11 happen while I was in school. And just so that everyone at home knows, we are practicing social distancing. It's not that I don't like Dr. Douglas. We're doing that here in the studio, so that's why we're sitting so far apart. So, Dr. Douglas, can you tell us, you know, give us some simple things that we can do while we're working and also while we're teaching at the same time?
Well, certainly the interactions with the child are going to vary by the age, but I think having questions posed to the child in terms of what they're thinking, what they're doing, what they're planning, in terms of that free time, giving them some guidelines in terms of how to structure that free time. So to paraphrase another media I heard, so they're not binge watching some movie all day. So that there's a variety and a pace and a structure. I know one family yesterday where the youngster went with grandma, another youngster went with mom. Mom volunteered all day. The other youngster cooked with grandma all day.
Really?
And then they took time for some lessons in between. I think that structure would be a really nice way to kind of normalize what is really an abnormal environment for the child.
Yeah, Colette was just telling me that earlier, that she kind of made out a plan for her kids while they're at home, starting at 8 o'clock. They're going to get up, they're going to do this, make the bed, do the shower, do their lessons. So, yeah, having
Colette's right on point. You know, giving that structure for the child. And then weaving in some lessons. We were chatting in the lobby before we came in, the large number of online opportunities, like the Cincinnati Zoo was one that was shared, where they had some programs that you can dial in, so you could structure the day around an event like that online that you wanted to capture.
Yeah, yesterday we were actually just mentioning that there's a museum, a virtual museum you can go tour. So thank you so much for coming in today, and for anyone else at home who has any questions or for more tips, you can check out the hot links section on WNEM.com.